One serious blemish on Sri Lanka's human rights record is the phenomenon of disappearances that seem to have become part of a culture of impunity that has allowed it to prevail over decades. Our next report takes a look at an event organized by activists on International Human Rights Day as they highlight the impact of disappearances on society. We will also take a look at what has been done so far to prevent such acts from occurring in the country.
It is a crime against humanity, yet disappearances continue to occur in society, undermining the rule of law, making people feel vulnerable, and shattering families. The phenomenon of disappearances is not uncommon to Sri Lanka. In the past, thousands have been made to disappear by various actors, often with a political backing. Disappearances have once again begun to occur in large numbers, particularly over the past 2 years. Several independent groups have been recording these occurrences through verification with affected families. One such organization, the Committee for the Investigation of the Disappeared, states that they have recorded 160 cases since 2006.
இந்த அரங்கிலே கூடியிருக்கின்றார்கள் காணாமல் போனவர்கள் சார்பிலே அவர்கள் மத்தியில் நாங்கள் அனைவரும் திரண்டு நின்று இந்த அரசாங்கத்துக்கு மட்டுமல்ல ஐநா மனித உரிமைகள் நிறுவனத்துக்கும் சர்வதேசத்துக்கும் இந்த காணாமல் போவல் நிகழ்ச்சிகள் தொடர்வதற்கு எதிராக இதை தடுத்து நிறுத்த வேண்டும் என்று குரல் எழுப்புவதற்காக நாங்கள் அனைவரும் இங்கே கூடி நின்று எங்கள் இதயபூர்வமான எதிர்ப்பை காட்டுவதற்காக இங்கே வந்திருக்கின்றோம்.
As Sri Lanka marked International Human Rights Day 2008, the issue of disappearances became a common thread in the activism to commemorate the day. The Committee for the Investigation of the Disappeared used the opportunity to highlight the need to call for an end to all forms of disappearances.
Political disappearances are continuing, and also it is a result of this brutal war going on in the north and in Vanni. It is necessary for us to in the south to organize an event like this to make people aware the misery of war. Disappearances is the most important aspect of this misery. People are suffering because their kith and kin has disappeared. This is in addition to the people who are dying in the battlefront.
The local lobby to call for an end to disappearances and enforce disappearances has seen the involvement of various civil society activists and politicians.
இங்கே மனித உரிமைகள் சம்பந்தமாக நாங்கள் குரல் கொடுக்கும் பொழுது அரசாங்கம் என்ன சொல்கின்றது? ஆரம்பத்திலே எவருமே கடத்தப்படவில்லை என்று சொன்னார்கள். பிறகு சொன்னார்கள் இல்லை கடத்தப்படுகின்றார்கள், காணாமல் போகின்றார்கள், நாங்கள் செய்யவில்லை என்று சொன்னார்கள்.
The present government responded by appointing 2 committees between 2007 and 2008, the International Independent Group of Eminent Persons and the Presidential Commission of Inquiry, to investigate into disappearances and other grievous human rights violations. In September 2007, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights visited the country on invitation of the Sri Lankan government and recommended a field presence of the Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights. The government of Sri Lanka declined this suggestion.
And may risk confusing further. Throughout my discussions, government representatives have insisted that national mechanisms are adequate for the protection of human rights.
The government of Sri Lanka's consolidated position is that we are not willing to discuss in any way a UN presence in Sri Lanka for monitoring purposes. Neither are we ready to discuss the opening of an office of the High Commissioner in Sri Lanka. We are in the process of discussing ways and means as to how we could work together, the High Commissioner's office and the various stakeholders who have a role to play in the challenges that Sri Lanka is facing at the moment.
However, committees appointed to investigate disappearances and human rights violations haven't brought expected results and are slowly fading from existence. Meanwhile, traumatized families who have presented their cases to the relevant authorities continue to feel a sense of helplessness over the delay in justice.
நாங்கள் போலீஸுக்கு உடனே தெரிஞ்சு உடனே 8 மணி போல் நாங்கள் போலீஸுக்கு போய் அறிவிச்சோம். அந்த ரோட்டில் முழுக்க இராணுவம் தான் இருந்தது. ஆனால் இராணுவத்துக்கிட்ட கேட்டால் இல்லையேன்னு சொல்லிட்டாங்க. பேருந்து போலீஸில் போய் என்ட்ரி போட்டு நாங்கள் பேருந்து அங்கே உள்ள கேம்புகள் ஆர்மி கேம்புகளில் போய் கேட்டோம். பிறகு மனித உரிமை குழுவில் ஐசிஆர் யூனிச்ஆர் எல்லாருக்கும் அறிவிச்சோம். ஒரு இடத்துல வந்துட்டு.
A significant aspect of the event, organized by the Committee for Investigation of the Disappeared, was the signing of a petition which called for an immediate ceasefire, as disappearances are an indirect result of the ongoing war.
Therefore, we demand from the government, if you are a civilized government, if you stand for civilized ethics, then please stop the war and start discussion with the Tamil people, leaders of Tamil people, for a political solution, for a devolution within the united country.
The event concluded with the symbolic releasing of black balloons, signifying the need to dispel the dark times that Sri Lanka is now experiencing.